Oh, look at this beauty. Look at her. Oh, she's gorgeous. Hey food lovers, and welcome back. This is Confessions of an Everyday Cook. I am Morgan. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my clam chowder. What I love about this is it's literally a one-pot meal. You just kind of throw everything in there and leave it, and bing bang boom, you got dinner. All right, let's grab our stuff and get started. Okay, so we just have a couple things to prep first before we head over to the stove. So first thing, we're gonna need an onion. We're gonna use a whole onion. Okay, so I mentioned this before, but the easiest way to dice an onion, have your fingers up in a claw. We're gonna make a slit here in the middle, not going all the way towards the root. Cut it down. And then since the root is intact, everything's gonna stay together better. And we just cut down like this. And you get nice, beautiful, finely diced onions. And then you just have the root and you're not wasting a whole bunch. I used one medium-sized onion. Now we're gonna add just a little bit of celery, maybe about half a cup. Not very much. Get the ends off here. We wanna cut it in nice little small dices. Now we're gonna cut some potatoes. Potatoes. You cut them, mash them, stick them in the stew. Probably gonna do 2 or 3 medium-sized potatoes. And you want to peel them before you cut them, just because I don't like having the skins in it. That's just a personal preference. I always feel like I look so funny because my trash is off camera. And so it kind of looks like I'm just like, throw my trash on the ground. Oh yeah, 2 potatoes are gonna be plenty. And we want these fairly small, just bite size. Now the secret to any good clam chowder is, obviously clams, is bacon. Those of you that follow my Instagram page, you'll notice this is actually the bacon I made a few weeks ago with my dad. He has a smoker, and so we just got some beautiful pork belly. We brined it and smoked it, and it makes this really good sweet bacon. You want to cut these into little dices. You want them nice and small. Okay, so I would say we have about a cup and a half of diced bacon. So that's as far as prep goes. I'm gonna take you over to the stove and let's get started. Drink break. Okay, so to get started, we're gonna heat up our pot here. About medium high. We're gonna toss our bacon in to start rendering. We're gonna let the bacon just sit here and crisp up. It is gonna take a little bit, probably about 5 minutes. So now that the bacon is crisp, we're gonna go ahead and add our onions and celery. We're gonna go ahead and let the bacon sit in here and really get all the nice fatty saltiness from the bacon to incorporate into the vegetables here. And we're gonna let this cook down for a little bit. You want the onions to be pretty translucent, not a ton of color. We're just trying to cook them down a little. While this is doing its thing, I'm gonna add a tablespoon of garlic, some salt, some coarse ground pepper, and then a little bit of crushed red pepper flakes, just to add a little bit of heat to it. Get this all married together. So while everything is kind of cooking down, I have over here my clams. You want to get 3 6.5 ounce cans of minced clams, and you want to make sure that when you open it, you want the clams to drain and reserve this clam juice because this is going to go into it. Here I have a little strainer over my measuring cup and just kind of let it sit there and drain while I'm getting everything else ready. Alright, this looks good. Now we're going to add our potatoes. Here's the potatoes. We're gonna let the potatoes cook in here for about 2 or 3 minutes before we add our liquid. Potatoes have been cooking for about 2 or 3 minutes. We're gonna go ahead, we're gonna set our clams aside. We're gonna put the clam juice that was in the can. We're gonna put that into our potatoes. This is probably about 1.5 cups. Then 1.5 cup of water. Get this all stirred in. I'm gonna turn it to medium low We want this to get into a nice simmer and allow it to simmer for about 30 minutes or until the potatoes are nice and soft. We're gonna stir it occasionally just so that anything that is resting on the bottom isn't going to burn. So I'm gonna set a timer and I'll be back. Okay, this is ready to go. I went ahead and I only let it simmer for about 20 minutes before checking my potatoes. Mine are all done. So what we're gonna do is we're going to add 2 cups of heavy cream. You can use half and half if you would like. However, I just like the heavy cream just because it makes it richer. And we're gonna let this heat through and come back to a simmer, probably about 5 minutes. Okay, this is simmering. We're gonna take our clams that we had earlier and dump these in. The reason we put this in at the very end is because you don't wanna overcook the clams, otherwise they're gonna get really tough. So just stir that in. It's done. Mwah. Now it's time for toppings. Okay, so I have here some chopped bacon that I went ahead and made. Just gonna sprinkle some on there. Some green onions, and then some oyster crackers. Oh, look at this beauty. Look at her. Oh, she's gorgeous. All right, let's try it. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's so good though. This is comfort. This is comfort. It's got that like nice bacony taste to it. The clams are perfect. They're just heated through. They're not tough. The green onions add just a little bit of freshness to it and it's perfect. Good job, guys. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me. We made some really awesome clam chowder. If you like what you see, make sure you like and subscribe, as well as turn on the notifications. That way you're not gonna miss a single recipe. As well as check out my Instagram page, @Confessions of an Everyday Cook. See you next time, bye!